All right, guys, we are live. I'm going to ask you guys to just confirm if you can hear me. And I'm going to check YouTube if it's live streaming, if everything's all right. I can see that sound works, everything works. And you guys are joining. If anyone wants to meet me at the screen, just comment, or if you have any questions about the stream or would you like to see on this call, let me know. And if you want to jump out and see the replay, go on YouTube. I'm trying to make this as useful as possible, and so I'm just going to straight up go into it. So first of all, in this call we're going to go over three different strategies or income activities. One is cash secured put, the other one is covered call, and then I'm going to roll an option. I created an account, a demo account, for you to see an example of how this would work. And if at any point in the meantime you want to stop me, let me know. So I'm going to share my screen and show you how this works. All right. Let me know if you can see this. 1 second. All right, perfect. So this is QuantWheel. As you guys already know, when you log in, you see the Action Center, where you see a summary of your portfolio, how much you're earning right now, what's your income potential, and what are the opportunities, how to increase that income potential. So I'm just going to go straight into it, step by step, what you can do with the positions that you already own if you're logged in for the first time. And at the end of the call, I'm just going to explain how this will work in the near future, whether it's this or next week. Ivan here on the call with me is working on the new version, which will help you generate even more income very quickly without having to spend too much time. So on the Action Center, you see the additional potential, and you see on the right side how much of your cash is not working for you and generating income, and how many of your positions are not making you money, and how many of your positions are in the money and are at risk of getting assigned. So let's go with the first one. Here we have the suggestions and what we can do with our uncovered positions. These are stocks that you own that are not making you money, which means you're not collecting premium on them. So while you own Apple, for example, which you have already purchased, why wouldn't it make you money? So what I usually do is I try to get 1 to 2% per month on everything that I own. So if I click on Apple, this is a stock that I already have here. If I click on it, I can see different options here. So stock price right now is 292. My break even is 258. So I'm already in pretty good profit. So 13-14% in profit. And what I would need to do now is either just hold and wait, which is great. Which if you hold Apple, probably in the future, there's a high chance in the next 1 to 5 years maximum, it will be higher price than it is right now. But while I wait, I want to see what is offered in the stock market, in the options market. So for example, what I can do here is go to the list of options and see what is the yield that I can get if I sell covered calls. What I like to do is I like to sort them based on the biggest discount. So right here, I would be forced to sell Apple at the end of 67th day if Apple was 360 or more, which would mean that Apple would need to increase by 23% in the next 67 days, and by the end of July 17th, it would need to be more than 360, which is highly unlikely, probably. Delta here is probably, it's 3.6. So there's probably 95% chance that this won't happen in the next 67 days. and the yield is 0.8%. Now, a lot of people ask us, okay, how to utilize screener in the best possible way. This is how. You check what is the smallest difference between yields instead of just going to the broker and clicking a random strike price and expiration price where you don't know what's the yield. If you own very liquid stocks that have expiration dates every day or two, then what you would need to do is make sure that the difference between yields between 1 or 2 days is as big as possible, and pick the one that gives you more yield, because it's difficult to predict inside of 2 or 3 days if the stock is really going to move that much. But you shouldn't care. You should take the one which gives you more yield. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at about 12%, 10 to 12% per year. Let's say this is 310, this one. And now what I'm doing is I'm checking 310. What is the yield that I'm getting per year? Here, the difference is between 32 and 38 days. The difference is tiny on a year basis. But if I look at, for example, 38 to 46, it's still tiny, but it's 0.2%. So the yield is about 20% higher. So the difference between 1.3 and 1.3 and 1.1 is 0.2. And the difference between the percentage of 0.2, or the 0.2 is about 20% of 1.1, which means that if I wait just another 8 days more, I get 20% higher premium. So I would rather pick this one, because it's difficult for me to just say, oh my God, this one is such a lower risk, which is impossible to predict. I will just pick this one, 20% higher yield, so 0.2% in 46 days, which is yearly 10.8. And you can see how this will look like over here. And I would just go with it. I would sell this one. So once I do that, I would do the same with Tesla. If you can see the Tesla is losing money right now, this is just a random position that I'm showing you. I would do the same thing. I go to covered calls here. I set the expiry dates 0 to 90 right now, but it can be 0 to 25. This is what I usually do. And then I sort them based on the highest discount. All right, and highest discount is at the top. I see the yield is too small here. I scroll down a little bit, about 12%. It would need to, so the price would need to increase by 15%. Delta is about 10% here. The yield is pretty high, and I like this. I will still be in premium. I'll still be in profit. My break even is about 446. And if I sell it at 497, I'm in very high profit. I will still earn a lot of money. So I pick this one. And then I go to the third one, NVIDIA. And here I'm in profit as well. I sort by difference. And guys, this is a very simple thing that I do. I don't mind owning these stocks, and that's why I'm not complicating. I would just hold them forever, probably, if I wouldn't be selling options on them. And you can see here between 10 and 12%, all of these are fine. NVIDIA is going pretty well. Another good thing to do is to sell calls on options that are increasing in price. Then the premium will be higher, volatility will be higher, and you'll get paid more. Also, you'll earn much more money on appreciation. And NVIDIA is on its nice streak. You see it's growing. So what you can do here is pick the one that you like the most. Let's say you want to sell at 260, around the number, and now you have to pick the right one. What you can do also is decrease the days of expiry. I'm just going to decrease this to 30, around 30. All right. And let's see how this looks like right now. 260 is here. As I said in the other examples, the delta is here. Here is very similar, but waiting a couple of more days gives you a pretty nice higher premium. This is a perfect example. If you wait 15 days, you get 8.3% yearly. If you wait so if you wait 15 days, it's 8.3% yearly on Nvidia. And if you were on your broker, you would just pick this and you would forget about it. But you would make a mistake, because if you just waited 3 more days, which is wait 18 days, you would get yearly 10%, which is 1.7% yearly more, and just 0.1% more on this particular trade. So why is this wise thing to do in QuantWheel and not your brokerage? Because in your brokerage, you would not notice this huge difference. And if you have 100 of those per year, you can just imagine how much money you can lose and earn less. So this is just 3 days. The delta is paid basically the same. It's 1% difference, but the yearly yield is 1.7% higher if you choose this one. So I'm choosing this one. And that's how you sell covered calls on QuantWheel. Next thing, using your cash. So if you right now have a lot of cash and even margin on your account, you could, and this is not financial advice, you could sell cash secured puts. What I do is I look at least 12% yearly, and I look at 14 to 45 days, and then I see what happens. And I, of course, use my watch list. You can create your own watch list if you would like. For me, I either use my watch list or use S&P 500. And now let's see what's out there. Now, if you want to go in detail, if you want to make something, if you want to find something more interesting, you can go with PE ratio. Let's say you want to trade a little bit more profitable firms. Let's say you want a lower RSI, which means that the stocks are a bit undervalued maybe right now. And let's say you want to find some earnings, some stocks that have earning dates. And now you can find the options that are the highest discount. So I don't know any of those, but let me find one that I know. Instead of doing this, what I will do now, I'm just going to reset everything, remove those filters, and I'm going to just find the one that I like. I like CoreWave, and it's in US equities. CoreWave, Iron, really good stocks. And I just recently sold puts at 85. What you could do, let's say you find 85. Why is this a good number? Because Nvidia bought many shares at 87. So you're getting a better price than Nvidia. And you find a cash secured put with expiry between 4 and 25 days. What you could do now here, and what I will do, is you could go more aggressively with, let's say it's 106, you could go with 100 strike price with 4 days expiry. You'll probably earn a fortune. Or you could go with something more secure like this one. With this one, you would wait 25 days. Delta is about 15 or 0.13, and you earn yearly 27.5, so 2% on one trade in 25 days. This one is a pretty good one, and you could just repeat until you don't have any allocated cash. If it happens that you need to get assigned, you can go here, roll, and you'll see the positions that you have right now that you can roll. And go with Tesla. I can see that Tesla right now is 435, but I saw the cash secured put pretty high at 480. So I'm losing money right now on this option. So I can roll it down, and in the future, let's say I want to roll it, and I don't want to wait more than 2 months, I can roll it here for 60. I'll still earn 287 in premium, and I will release the equity, so I will not get assigned. All right, and you can go in details here and see which strike price works for you best, because there are the difference if you want to visualize them. That's when it comes to Tesla. And now Figma. Figma is a stock where I'm losing most money in unrealized losses. And this is just an example, but it's pretty real. Right now, the price is 19.74, and I have one contract at 2000. And there are no rolling opportunities here. There are, sorry. So now what I can do is I can sort them by days extended, and I can see that, for example, I can roll to 19, have 42 more days for it to recover, and I will still earn a little bit of money, and I will not get assigned with $2,000 collateral. So what this feature here, roll, does, it finds the best option to roll by having you compare all the other options. So what you would basically do is close your existing cash secured put and sell another put. And this just helps you to see which put to sell next that still earns you money, so you never lose. All right, and that's 3 ways you can earn money on QuantWheel. And the reason why QuantWheel is helping you earn more money than if you just did it on your broker is this: when you're rolling, you see the positions where you're still in profit, so it's easier to be precise and not mess it up. When you sell puts, you can see the difference, small tiny difference, as I explained in the video, between 2 options, and pick the one which, in a matter of my example earlier, gives you 0.3, it gives you 3 more days, gives you 1.7% more in yearly yield. So if you were not using QuantWheel, you'd basically lose 1.7%, which on 100,000 is more than 2 yearly subscriptions of QuantWheel. And that's why I'm mentioning it, is obviously we're selling this to you guys, and we want to show you how it's a no-brainer to use it. And the same thing with covered calls. Just the smallest difference between 2 options makes you much more money than if you just randomly picked an option in your broker. If you can visualize options and see the difference in strike prices and compare that between 2 expiry dates, you'll see that there is a huge difference. And if you pick the right one, and every time you earn 0.1% in a matter of a year, you'll earn a lot more than if you didn't use QuantWheel. All right. And the action center, what Ivan is working on right now, will look a little bit different in the near future. So what you're going to have in the near future is this here is going to be much simpler. I don't think you care about what's your portfolio value right now here. You maybe care about your net P&L and see the chart of it growing. That's fine. We're going to have that there. But you're going to see how much money you earned that month and how much you could earn if you listen to these opportunities. And we're going to make this much simpler so that you're going to be able to just click a few times and see exactly which option you're going to have to sell to earn more money. And if you repeat that throughout the year, you're going to earn anywhere a couple of points more, which on your whole portfolio translates to a lot of money, tens of thousands probably, in a matter of a few years. So this is not a financial advice. I'm just explaining how I use QuantWheel, And in my experience, it earns me way more money than if I use the broker. And I don't even want to use the broker's options chain, because it's much easier to find what you need here and then go to the broker and I just execute. Quick overview: if you want to use the wheel, there is cash secure puts here to find the deals. You can roll them. If you don't want to get assigned, cover the calls and see your results. The results are in the journal as well if you want to go more into detail. You can also see your positions per ticker. What is the break-even real cost of a ticker? So if you collect $1 every time you trade and sell a put, the break-even cost or the real cost of the stock will go down. Obviously, we show you here what that is. You have GAGs, and not just GAGs, but many different tools like option, like the Max Pain, Replay, Heatmap, and much more. And if you want to see what others are doing, you can copy other traders here. All right, that's a brief overview. If you have any questions, write them here, or you will see the replay on YouTube. If you don't manage to write a question, because this is going to be a very quick stream, I just wanted to bring as much value as possible in the shortest amount of time. If you have a question and didn't manage to write it here, watch the replay. We will answer them under the YouTube, or you can join our Discord where we talk about our trades and much more. All right, thank you everyone. Have a good one.